When it came to the big issues, our exit poll shows 40% believe he is the best to handle the economy. 30% of the voters believe that Trump is the best to handle an international crisis. And Donald Trump is here, finally, live and in color, joining us at the table. Good morning to you. When you walked in, Charlie said, "What took you so long?" We've been asking. We wanted to hear at the table.
Well, I did an interview. I think, how long has it been since I did the interview with you?
2 or 3 days.
No, but years. I'm talking about the old studio with the black walls.
That's right.
That had to be 20 years ago or more, so it's been a long time.
But here we are, live and in color. Yeah, we're delighted that you're here.
Congratulations on the show. I hear really great things.
First thing you watch in the morning?
I watch it. I do. I watch it.
Congratulations, Donald, last night, because it was a huge, huge win. So now are you feeling unstoppable today?
No, never unstoppable. But we had
never
a great,
unstoppable.
No,
you?
Never. I would never want to say that. But we had a great period of time. The people of New Hampshire have been amazing. The way they just took me in, and I've been friendly with. I have a lot of friends from the area, and I thought I'd do well there. But
what made the difference between Iowa and New Hampshire, do you think, for you?
Well, I think we did really well in Iowa. I got no credit for it. I came in second. I never did this before. I haven't been a politician. I was with Iowa for 6 months. I was a politician, and I came in second with the largest number of votes ever, except for Ted. And we had the problem with Ben Carson, who I think was really, I thought it was a very unfair thing happened to him. If that didn't happen, I would have won Iowa. So I was happy with Iowa. It did really well. It's sort of interesting. I came in second, but the one that came in third, they made him like a star. I said, what about me? I came in second. What happened to me? So,
You're speaking of Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
All right. The Republican Party is hell-bent, the establishment, on stopping you. Even Governor Bush said this morning on this program, it would be disastrous if you were the nominee.
Well, Jeb is a person who, he doesn't have it. He spent $38 million.
But he's not alone, and you've talked about him before.
Yeah, I do.
The Republican Party, the establishment, worries about you.
Charlie,
they want to stop you.
That I am getting so many calls from members of the establishment, people in the Republican Party that were totally against me, and they want to join the team right now. We're doing so well.
And it includes Chris Christie. He called you?
He didn't call to say he's going to.
No, but he called
me. He did call me, yeah.
And what did he say?
He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine. He did a really good job in the debate, and he's a friend of mine. He just congratulated me. He said it was unbelievable what you've done. I mean, the numbers were fantastic.
Is he going to drop out?
Is it time for him to drop out?
I don't know. I don't know. We talked about it a little bit.
But do you think it's time for him to drop out?
I'd like to see a lot of people drop out. I'd like it to be a few people. Actually, I'd like to get it down to one.
But that's not the question. Do you think Chris Christie should drop out?
I don't know. I don't want to get into that, Gil.
Right.
I mean, he really is. He's a friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and I thought he was very effective, and I was surprised he didn't do better, frankly.
You had a decisive win in New Hampshire, 34%. There's a lot of candidates in the field. The 4 establishment candidates, as they're called, together gained a greater percentage of the vote than you. Since they're well-funded, do you think this will go on all the way to the convention?
Well, I'm much better funded than they are. It's called my own money. I'm putting up my own money. So I'm much better funded than any of them. And when they put down Trump, they don't put down anything because I put up my own money. But by doing that, I'm not controlled by the special interest, the lobbyists, and all of these other people. And a lot of people say if they check Charlie, they check, the results, they say that was a big reason I did so well. People are tired of it because these politicians are controlled by the people that put up the money.
Let me speak to that. People say you have changed American politics in the way that you're going about this. Have you? And what is the way that you're going about it that makes a difference?
Charlie, I've heard it so many times, and I view it differently. Somebody called up a friend of yours, a very great reporter, and said, who I just keep quiet because I don't know I'm supposed to be saying this. He said, what does it feel like?
What are they in?
Well, I'll tell you after the show, but he said, what does it feel like? And I said, what does what feel like? You've changed American politics. It's amazing what you've done. I said, I haven't done anything unless I win. And I mean, not the nomination. I mean, win the whole thing. I haven't done anything because I can't do anything about it. If you're a failed candidate, even if you go to the final step, you look at some of the people that ran for president, did a good job and failed. Now, in my case, it's different because nobody's ever won as an entrepreneur, New Hampshire, and done as well as we've done. But I think we have a lot of additional victories.
But have you changed politics?
Probably. I did New Hampshire much different. We'd have massive rallies. We'd have these big rallies where everybody said you have to
John
walk in.
Kasich had like 100 town hall meetings.
Yeah.
You'd fly in on your jet and do a big rally and fly back to New York.
Well, I took the Verizon Center. We had 6,000 people, and other people were having 200 people, and it's, don't worry about that one. But I'm lucky in that we get very big crowds. Tonight I'm going to South Carolina. We're going to have at least 10,000 people, and that was set up 3 days ago. so we get big crowds.
But
if
where's
they
this
got big
coming
crowds,
from?
they do it that way
Donald
too.
Trump, where's this coming from? Because I hear two schools of thought. Either people are excited about your candidacy or they're mortified about your candidacy.
I don't think mortified. I mean, I think
No,
people
I've
have
heard
respected
people
what I've done
mortified.
here. No, well, I think people, well, they may be, not happy, but mortified's a different kind of a word.
Yeah, but politicians are saying they're worried that they'll lose the Senate and they're worried that they'll lose the House if you were at the head of the ticket.
And yet polls are coming out, and polls are showing that I will beat Hillary Clinton easily, and that I think I don't know about the other one. I think the other one is going to be very easy to win. If Bernie ever gets it, I can't imagine that's possible. He's going to charge you 95% tax, but that I would beat Clinton. And, I'll do something different than anybody else. I have a chance of winning New York, Charlie. You look at these politicians, they always talk about the 6 states. You got to win this one, that one. You have to win Ohio. You have to win Florida. I can change the game because I really have a chance at New York. I'm going to win Virginia. I'm going to win, certain states. I'm going to win Michigan as an example.
You win South Carolina?
Can we get to
Oh,
the
I'm
issues?
going to win South Carolina. I think so, yes.
Are you courting
Let's
Nikki
get,
Haley?
let's get to some issues.
Are you courting Nikki Haley?
No, I'm not. I mean, she's somebody I know, I like, but I'm not courting.
Talk about these issues.
I was with some people who live overseas yesterday, and they're very concerned about what's happening in the Middle East. But yesterday we get here on the Middle East in a moment, but first, yesterday we heard the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, in Congress saying that North Korea's nuclear effort is the top threat to the United States. What would you do to deal with that reclusive country?
I would get China to make that guy disappear in one form or another very quickly. And let me tell you, people
How do you
say,
make him disappear and assassinate him?
Let me just tell you, I've heard of worse things, frankly. I mean, this guy's a bad dude, and don't underestimate him. Any young guy can take over from his father with all those generals and everybody else that probably want the position. This is not somebody to be underestimated.
Well, why do you
China
want
has
China to do it?
control.
Why don't
I'll
we
tell you
do
why.
it?
Because China has control, absolute control of North Korea. They don't say it, but they do. And they should make that problem disappear. China is sucking us dry. They're taking our money. They're taking our jobs. They're doing so much. We have rebuilt China with what they've taken out. We have power over China. China should do that. Now,
We
Iran,
can force the Chinese to
Iran,
take care of North Korea.
I would force the Chinese to do it
How would you do
economically.
it?
Economically, Charlie. They're sucking the money out of us. We have a trade deficit this year with China, $500 billion. They're taking money out of our country. They're taking our jobs.
They hold all our debt, too.
Well, you know what? I mean, we owe them. Think of it. They take our money, they take our jobs, they take our base, and guess what we owe? We owe them $1.7 trillion, okay? But we have a lot of power over China. Don't underestimate it.
So you're saying to Nora's question, you would leave it up to the Chinese?
No, I wouldn't leave it up to them. I'd say, you
Force
got to
them.
do it. You got to do it.
And if they
Or
said
it's
no,
good.
you
I'd
would
be
do
very
what?
tough with them.
If
on
they
trade.
said no, what would you do?
I would very strongly stop them from ripping. I'm going to stop them anyway to a certain extent, but maybe I'd do it a little bit more forcefully. One other thing. We make that horrible deal with Iran. The closest partner of North Korea is Iran. Why didn't we put something in there when we're making a deal and when we're giving them $150 billion? Why didn't we do something with Iran where Iran gets in and we force Iran to get in and do something with North Korea? We don't do anything. We should have, when we made that deal is a horror show. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. When we made the deal with Iran, why didn't Kerry say, look, you got to help us out. We have a problem. North Korea, he's playing around with nukes. Because nukes, that's the whole game changer, Charlie. If it weren't for that, we shouldn't even be in the Middle East. But we can't take a chance that somebody plays the nuclear game. So we should have done that also. But China, in the meantime, has tremendous power over North Korea, and they take our money. So we have power over China.
Ted Cruz
Syria
said
may
that-
be off the
Yeah, well-
Syria may be off the front pages, but the situation there is
Terrible.
It's
So
awful.
dire, yeah.
We have the Defense Secretary Ash Carter in Brussels convening leaders there tomorrow, including Arab states, asking them to do more. They say that we need more U.S. leadership, that we should commit U.S. ground troops. Should we commit U.S. ground troops?
Well, Syria is a whole different thing, and you look at what's happening. I view ISIS as very important, and I love the fact that Russia is hitting ISIS, and as far as I'm concerned, they've got to continue to hit
But
ISIS.
you know what
And-
Russia is
and
doing
know
in
it's a
Syria?
disaster.
Russia is hitting
Well, they're hitting
the
both.
groups that we're backing.
Sure. And why are we back in the group? We don't even know who those people are. I speak to generals. They're saying we're giving billions of dollars of equipment to people we have no. Here we go again. We're giving all of this money and all of this equipment to people we have no idea who they are. They're probably worse than Assad. I mean, Assad's no baby. He's not good. But who are the people that we're backing? Here we go
You
again
know
with
that's
Libya.
President Obama's argument.
Yeah.
Well,
If
I
we
think
don't
that's
know
good.
who the weapons will fall into whose hands.
We have no idea. Well, why is he doing it, though? I mean, he's giving them a lot of weaponry, and we're backing people that want to knock out Assad. Russia and Iran, which is now a power, we've made them a power, they're backing Assad. We've got to get rid of ISIS. We've got to get rid of the people that are chopping off everybody's head.
You say you have a good relationship with Putin, or would have a good
I
relationship
think I
with
would have a very good relationship, but who knows?
So could you convince Putin to get Assad to step aside?
Well, they've been trying to do that. Could I? I don't think it's that important, to be honest with you. I think, frankly, let's say you get rid of Assad or you knock out that government, who's going to take over? The people that we're backing, and then you're going to have, like Libya, right? You take Gaddafi. Oh, we have to get rid of Gaddafi. Look what happened after we got rid of Gaddafi. Look what happened after we
Getting
got
rid of Gaddafi was a mistake.
It was just, to me, it was a total mistake. I mean, Benghazi was the least. Look at what's going on over there. It's a mess. Nobody knows anything about anything. You look at Saddam Hussein. We get rid of Saddam Hussein. The terrorists. It's the Harvard
So
of
getting rid of Gaddafi and getting rid of Saddam Hussein were both mistakes.
Had we not done anything, had our politicians gone to the beach and enjoyed the sun, we would be in a lot better position than we are right now. Saddam Hussein, no good guy, but Saddam Hussein killed terrorists. Now Iraq is the Harvard of terror. You want to become a terrorist, go to Iraq. They'll teach you how, okay? Saddam Hussein was a bad guy. But, you know, one other thing he did, he blocked Iran. I mean, once you knocked out that section, all of this, and I said it, in 2003, 2004, I was against the war. I said, you're going to have the Middle East is going to be a mess. They used to fight forever. They couldn't move. They go 10 feet one way, 10 feet the other. Now you have a total destabilization in the Middle East because we knocked out one of the blocks.
What's the difference in your appeal and Bernard Sanders' appeal? Because they both are appealing to arguments, they seem to be receptive arguments against the establishment.
Well, I think I am a little bit against the establishment, and he probably is also. I tell you, the one thing we have in common is trade. The only difference is he can't do anything about it. I can. He knows that China's ripping us, and he admits it. And he knows Japan and Vietnam, that's the new one on the block, by the way. They're ripping us, big league in Mexico. And I do too. The difference is I can do something about it. I will take those deals and make them
It's
great.
great to have you here.
Yes, thank you,
It's
Donald
nice to
Trump.
be with you,
Yes.
Joe.
We hope
Nice
that you'll
to be with
return.
you.
Yes, come
I
back,
will.
please.
I will.
And
I'd love to do it by phone. I mean, if
No,
you
no,
have phoners. How about some phoners?
Good to see you in person.
We want
Charlie,
you to
it's
get
great to hear
dressed.
you.
We want you to get dressed
No,
in
no,
out
I
of your
know.
pajamas and come.
I'll be back.
And
I'll be back.
we'll see you at the debate on Saturday night
Good.
as well.
I look forward to it.